Okay, good afternoon, girls. I have a PowerPoint that I'm going to share with you guys regarding our Riverside School-Wide Behavior Plan. Won't hold questions till the end. If you have any questions, we'll wait until we're at the end of it. Our district mission, I'm going to start with this. This is not just our mission here at Riverside, but it's as a whole with the district. I'm going to read it to you that way we're all on the same page. The School Board of Broward County, Florida is dedicated to meeting the educational needs of all students in a safe learning environment. Individual schools create their environment by defining school-wide positive behavior benchmarks and by providing resources for specific needs of their population based on objective data collection and analysis. By completing the following steps that I'm going to share with you girls, our school will describe its unique and comprehensive school-wide positive behavior plan, also known as SBPP. Okay, so this is currently what we have here at Riverside Elementary. Our expectations, this is what we do like pre-planning week, like over the summer, team leaders, whatnot. Expectations we have here, which we all basically know. Be safe, be responsible, be respectful. Hallway rules, like we know, walking quietly, walking on the right side, or here in kindergarten, you know, in the beginning of the school year, walking down the middle but quietly, where do our hands belong, things of that nature. Traveling with a partner, a very important one, the buddy system. We know when the front office calls, if mom dropped off a lunch, if there's a note up front, if it's SNAP, whatever it is, we know to send the child with a buddy, and the children know that as well. Keeping your hands to yourself, like I said, that personal space that the boys and girls should know. Cafeteria rules, you know, lining up quietly, throwing your trash away. When we pick them up, are they quietly standing in a line? Are they ready to walk out? Carrying their trays with both hands, not balancing it on your head, you know, all those things. They know the correct way here at Riverside Elementary School. And also dismissal, the buses, whether it's car lot 4 or car lot 1, do they know directly to go to their designated areas? Also in car lot 1 and 4, how we have our kindergarten signs, 1, 2, 3, 4, do they know where their designated area is to sit, and how do we sit? Do we sit crisscross applesauce? Are we standing? They know because we go over, you know, from day one, we're implementing these rules, we let them know. So this is what these are currently our expectations: hallway rules, cafeteria rules, dismissal, and bus area rules. Now, what we do is we take all of our data, we collect it, we analyze it, and this is even from like virtual counselor. When we go in and put in a referral, we analyze all of that, and this is current here for Riverside Elementary. You can see 2% bus violations, 2% petty theft, leaving campus without permission, 4%, profanity towards a staff member, 7%, fight, minor altercation, 9%, obscene language, 9%, assault and threat, 10%, disobedience, 12%, disruptive, unruly play, 17%, and currently the highest at 28%, unruly, disruptive behavior. So what we did is we analyzed this and we said, okay, here at Riverside Elementary School, we need to focus on one to improve. So the one that we did choose, the 28%, our target misbehavior goal is unruly, disruptive behavior. So we say, okay, we're at 28%, what are we gonna do and by when? And administration came up with, by March 2015, there will be a school-wide decrease by 10%. So that 10% is our goal by March. So we ask ourselves, okay, how are we gonna do this? Well, resources needed to reach the benchmark, which we're all relatively familiar with, but I'm just gonna kind of reiterate the CHAMPS program, which builds a positive, you know, behavior system for all students. Also a point level system, which some of us say that works, it doesn't work. And if it doesn't work, that's okay. I can say for myself, last year I had an instant where I used this point level system, which is primarily used, you know, for EBD programs, but it can be used in the general classroom setting under, you know, modified versions, which is, like I said, in my case, what I did last year. Then LEAPS, you know, when students continue to display a negative behavior, the LEAPS program provides an individual with lessons for the teacher to use, you know, to help display and reinforce that positive behavior. So these are current resources that we do have here at Riverside. Now, Implementation of these resources. We ask ourselves, we've got to be effective and consistent with the implementations, of each resource in order to reach our benchmark. So it's that consistency, just like we have in reading or in math, or the child needs to, we got to be consistent in order for that child to be successful in any area, whether it's behavior, whether it's ELA, mathematics. So again, just reinforcing that consistency. And then the question came about, okay, let's take an inventory. Who would like training? Yes, we have this point level system, but is it effective? Is it not effective? Or maybe it is effective, but maybe I, as a kindergarten teacher, wasn't utilizing it to the best of my ability in the classroom. Okay, yes, CHAMPS, we have resources to that, but I haven't been exposed to that for a while, so could we get like a CHAMPS training here at Riverside Elementary? Because some teachers, that was a concern for a lot of the teachers, was, they just kind of wanted some refreshers. So that's something we'll discuss a little bit later if anyone's interested or kind of wanted, some feedback as far as how to implement it in your classroom. And then, as far as professional development and community implementation strategies, again, this is just the CHAMPS, referral process and discipline matrix and RTI, which we're all very familiar with and, we refer to on occasions. Another good one that we discussed at the meeting was sharing a positive behavior best practices K through 5, which I know we do as a kindergarten team. We come together and say, hey, I had this incident in my classroom, what would you do if this was your child? And we kind of, bounce off ideas off each other, which is, very important and beneficial in my opinion. Teachers have the opportunity to visit other schools with different demographics. This also came up. A teacher said, well, do we have access or coverage if we wanted to go to a different school and see how they handle the same kind of situation in a different setting? Are we capable of doing that? Will administration let us do something like this? Because that was, like I said, another question that came up. And also, teams will meet during pre-planning to discuss what has and hasn't worked for students in the past, which I can say with experience with you guys, we already do this. Pre-planning week, we sit together, team meetings, we bounce off ideas, get each other's feedback and things of that nature. And then, monitoring the school-wide positive behavior plan. It's important for that ongoing monitoring, reviewing, possible revisions. Is this working? Is it not working? It's all kind of trial and error for us to really implement that effective plan as a school. And then also the thing is too, like with virtual counselor, all the teachers are saying we input referrals or whatever it is into virtual counselor, but guess what? When that child goes to first grade or whatever grade it is, next consecutive school year, that information is wiped out. It doesn't go along with them. So we were saying, well, why don't we, as Riverside Elementary School, create a spreadsheet that we start in kindergarten, and it can look like whatever. We're going to create it, whether it's in Excel, whether it's in Word. It can look like however we want. But essentially, it would start, these are just ideas, in kindergarten, and whatever behavior system worked or didn't work, just kind of jot it down, or it could be a checkbox or whatnot. And that piece of paper at the end of the school year would go into their cume, and next year, that teacher has access to that piece of paper, that school-wide behavior plan in the cume. As opposed to, the teacher knocking on the door, meeting you in the hallways, which is fine too. Okay, what's up with this child? Tell me about them. Yes, but if they had that piece of paper to go off of and say, okay, this teacher did A, B, C, and D. This worked. This didn't work. Okay, what are we going to do now? Just so we have that, systematic way of tracking that behavior. So on Monday, next Monday, we have a behavior plan committee meeting. We're just going to kind of come up with some spreadsheet. So if you guys have any ideas of what you would want it to look like or what you think we should put on it, that input would be extremely valuable.